Brothers, listen well. In a world that moves fast, where strength is tested daily, there is something we overlook, something silent, something unseen. It is not found in loud cries or grand gestures, but in quiet sacrifices, in battles fought behind closed doors, in burdens carried without a word. We speak of strength often, but do we understand it? Do we recognize where it bends, where it trembles, where it nearly breaks? Women, these beings of grace and fire, hold within them weaknesses they will never confess, not because they are frail, but because they refuse to burden others. They endure silently. And this endurance, this quiet resilience, hides truths that men must understand, not for sympathy, not for guilt, but for wisdom. And wisdom, my brothers, is the path to honor. Today I speak of 5 truths, 5 unseen burdens, 5 hidden weaknesses that no woman will say aloud, yet every man must know. Number 1, emotional fatigue. Brothers, listen well. She carries more than anyone sees. It is not just the weight of responsibilities or the demands of daily life. It is the constant, unrelenting storm within her mind. A storm she does not speak of, because the world expects her to handle it. She wakes before the world stirs, her mind already racing. Thoughts move faster than time itself. What must be done, who must be cared for, where she is needed. And so before the sun has fully risen, she is already tired. Not the kind of tired that a few hours of sleep can fix. No, this is different. This is the exhaustion that seeps into her bones, the kind that makes even stillness feel like a burden. Yet she carries on. She smiles when she needs to. She nods when expected. She offers warmth to those around her because that is what she does, because that is what is expected. But inside there is a heaviness, a quiet ache, a feeling of being pulled in too many directions, yet never fully arriving anywhere. This is not weakness in the way most understand it. It is not a sign of fragility. It is a consequence of endurance. The longer one carries weight, the heavier it becomes, and she has been carrying it for longer than anyone knows. She cannot rest, not truly. Even in moments of pause, her mind does not slow. It replays conversations, decisions, mistakes, real or imagined. It worries about the unseen, the unspoken, the unnoticed. She wonders if she has done enough, if she has given enough, if she has been enough. And so, even in silence, she is exhausted. Yet, the world does not ask if she is tired. It does not give her permission to stop. Instead, it demands more patience, more understanding, more effort, and she gives it. Because she believes she must, because that is what she has always done. But make no mistake, there is a cost. This fatigue does not simply disappear. It lingers, it settles in her heart, in her mind, in her body. It makes her question herself in ways she never speaks of. It makes her doubt the very strength she is praised for. It makes her wonder if there will ever be a day when she can exhale without feeling guilty for it. And so she pushes forward. Even when her body begs for rest, even when her mind screams for quiet, she carries on. Not because she does not feel the weight, but because she refuses to let it break her. But the weight is there. It is in the way she hesitates before answering, measuring her words so they do not become a burden to someone else. It is in the way she brushes off her own pain, convincing herself that others have it worse. It is in the way she forces a smile when all she wants is a moment of stillness. It is in the way she carries everyone else, even when she is barely holding herself together. And yet, no one sees it, no one acknowledges it. Because she does not complain, because she does not ask for help, because she does not allow her exhaustion to be seen. But it is there. It is always there. And the greatest tragedy? She has accepted it. She has convinced herself that this is how it must be, that rest is a luxury, not a necessity, that to pause is to fail, that to slow down is to disappoint. And so she keeps going until one day something inside her begins to fade. Not all at once, not in a way that anyone notices immediately, but slowly, subtly, in the quiet moments when no one is looking, she becomes quieter, less present. The light in her eyes, the fire in her spirit, it dims little by little. Not because she is weak, but because she has given too much for too long without being given anything in return. And yet she will not say a word. She will not ask for what she needs, because she has been taught that needing anything at all is a burden. So she carries on, not because she is fine, not because she has the strength to keep going, but because she believes she has no choice. Number 2. Fear of being replaced. She will never say it aloud, but it lingers in her mind like a shadow that never fully disappears. No matter how confident she seems, no matter how much love she is given, there is a part of her that wonders, am I enough? It is not a passing thought, not a fleeting insecurity, but a quiet, persistent fear that rests beneath the surface of her every interaction. She has seen how easily people drift apart, how quickly affection fades, how effortlessly someone else can step into a place she once held. And so she carries this fear in silence, never wanting to appear needy, never wanting to admit that deep down she worries she is replaceable. It is not because she lacks worth. It is because she understands that the world moves on without asking if she is ready. This fear does not come from weakness, nor is it the product of vanity. It is the result of experience. She has seen how easily people forget what they once cherished. She has watched how admiration turns into indifference, how familiarity breeds complacency, how what was once fought for is taken for granted. She has heard stories, witnessed endings, and lived through moments where she was no longer chosen. And so she wonders. Not always, not in a way that consumes her, but in quiet moments, in the silence between conversations, in the way someone hesitates before answering. She wonders if she is being replaced, even before she is gone. She does not ask for constant reassurance, nor does she demand proof of loyalty. But when she gives her heart, she does so with the fear that one day it may no longer be enough. She will never ask for it outright, but she longs to know that she is valued, not just today, but always. She wants to believe that she is not merely filling a space, not just a temporary presence in someone's life until someone better comes along. It is why she loves with such intensity, why she gives more than she takes, why she pours herself into every connection she holds dear. She does not love halfway, nor does she offer herself in fragments. She gives fully, hoping that in doing so she will not be forgotten. But the world does not always reciprocate in kind. She knows what it feels like to be replaced, to watch as someone else takes the space she once occupied, to see the proof that she was not as irreplaceable as she once believed. And that knowledge never truly leaves her. She does not want to live in fear, nor does she let it dictate her actions, but it is there, beneath the surface, influencing the way she loves, the way she trusts, the way she fights for what she holds dear. It is why she notices the small shifts, the gradual changes, the moments when the words spoken to her do not hold the same weight they once did. She does not want to be suspicious, does not want to doubt the people she loves, but experience has taught her that nothing is certain, that even the strongest connections can fade, that even promises can be broken. And so she guards herself in ways no one sees, preparing for the day when she is no longer needed, no longer wanted, no longer the one who is chosen. Number 3, sacrificial silence. She gives without being asked. She listens without interrupting. She sacrifices without seeking recognition. It is not because she does not have needs of her own, but because she has learned that silence is easier than expectation. She has spent years suppressing her own desires, her own struggles, her own voice, not because she does not want to be heard, but because she has seen what happens when she speaks. The world does not always listen, the world does not always care, and so she has chosen silence, not as a sign of weakness, but as an act of quiet endurance. She carries burdens that no one sees, swallows words that will never be spoken, and gives of herself in ways that will never be acknowledged. She has been conditioned to put others before herself. From the time she was young, she was taught that love is selfless, that care is quiet, that a good woman does not complain. And so she learned to smile through exhaustion, to nod even when she wanted to object, to give even when there was nothing left. She learned that her pain was secondary, that her discomfort was insignificant compared to the needs of others. It is not that she does not wish to be heard, it is that she has been made to believe that her voice does not matter as much. And so she chooses silence, not because she does not feel, but because she has seen what happens when she asks for more. The world does not always respond with kindness. The world does not always give in return. She does not see herself as a martyr. She does not want pity or sympathy. But deep down there is a quiet ache, a longing to be noticed without having to ask, to be cared for without having to fight for it. She wishes someone would see through her silence, recognize the exhaustion in her eyes, and understand that just because she does not complain does not mean she is fine. She hopes that someone, someday, will tell her that she does not always have to be the strong one, that she does not always have to give without expecting anything back. But she does not ask for it, because she has learned that asking does not always mean receiving. And so she continues to give, continues to endure, continues to carry her burdens in silence. She wonders sometimes if anyone truly sees her, if anyone notices the sacrifices she makes, the moments she sets herself aside so that others can have what they need. She wonders if her silence has made her invisible, if her willingness to endure has made others forget that she too is human. But she does not let these thoughts linger. She pushes them aside, buries them beneath responsibilities and expectations, and carries on, because that is what she has always done, because that is what the world has taught her to do, because somewhere along the way she convinced herself that love means giving without needing anything in return. Number 4. Unseen loneliness. She stands among others, surrounded by voices, yet there is a silence inside her that no one seems to hear. She smiles, she engages, she offers warmth, and yet when the moment passes, she is left with a feeling she cannot explain, a quiet emptiness, a sense of being separate even in the presence of others. It is not that she lacks connection, not that she is unloved, but there is a part of her that remains unseen, unheard. She carries conversations, she makes others feel valued, yet she wonders if anyone truly sees her beyond what she gives. There is a loneliness in being the one who always understands, always listens, always holds space for others, yet rarely finds the same depth in return. She does not speak of it because she does not wish to seem ungrateful. She knows she is loved, knows she is needed. But love and presence are not the same. There is a difference between being surrounded and being understood. She longs for someone to ask her the questions she asks others, to notice the weight behind her eyes, to hear what she does not say. She does not want constant attention, does not crave endless validation. She only wishes to be seen as deeply as she sees. But life moves fast, and people rarely stop long enough to look beyond the surface. So she remains unseen in ways that cannot be explained, only felt. She has learned to keep parts of herself hidden, not because she does not wish to share, but because she has realized that not everyone is willing to hold what she carries. So she laughs when expected, nods when necessary, and listens when needed. She is the safe place for others, yet she wonders where she is meant to rest. In the quiet of the night, when there is no one left to care for, no one left to comfort, she faces the truth. She is alone in ways that no one would ever suspect. It is not about solitude, not about needing more people. It is about depth, about connection, about being understood in a way that does not require explanation. She does not blame others for this loneliness. nor does she resent the role she plays. She accepts it as part of who she is, as part of the way she moves through the world. But there are moments, rare and fleeting, when she wishes someone would truly see her, not just the version of her that is always composed, always strong, always reliable, but the part of her that wonders, that longs, that aches, for a connection that does not leave her feeling unseen, even as she stands in the middle of a crowded room. Number 5. The struggle for control. She walks a fine line, one that demands balance between strength and softness, independence and vulnerability. She has been told to be both, to lead but not too much, to be strong but not intimidating, to be kind but not weak. The world expects her to know when to step forward and when to step back, when to speak and when to remain silent. And so she struggles, not because she is unsure of herself, but because she has been conditioned to believe that too much of anything will make her unworthy. She wants to take control of her own life, to shape her own future, but she has learned that control comes at a cost. Too much of it, and she is labeled difficult. Too little, and she is taken advantage of. She has seen how the world reacts to women who demand too much. She has watched how confidence is mistaken for arrogance, how decisiveness is called stubbornness, how self-sufficiency is perceived as coldness. And so she hesitates, constantly adjusting, trying to find the perfect balance that will allow her to exist without resistance. But the truth is, there is no perfect balance. No matter what she does, there will always be those who believe she is too much or not enough. And so she fights within herself, questioning when to stand firm and when to let go, when to fight for what she deserves and when to accept what she is given. It is a battle no one sees, an internal war between who she is and who the world allows her to be. She does not want control over others, only over herself. Yet even that feels like a battle. She wants to feel safe in her choices, to trust in her own decisions without second-guessing whether they will be held against her. But years of being told to soften, to yield, to accommodate have made her question if taking control is something she is even allowed to do. And so she compromises, she adjusts, she bends just enough to fit within the expectations placed upon her. But bending too often, too much, begins to wear her down. It makes her feel as though she is losing herself, piece by piece, until she no longer recognizes the person she has become. She wonders if there will ever be a time when she does not have to fight for her place in the world, when she does not have to choose between being accepted and being true to herself. She wants to believe that strength and softness can coexist, that she does not have to prove her worth by constantly justifying her choices. She wants to let go of the fear that control will make her unlovable, that independence will make her undesired, that wanting more for herself will make her too much for others to handle. She does not want to struggle between these two worlds forever, but she also does not know if there is another way, and so she continues forward, searching for the balance that has always seemed just out of reach. Brothers, listen well. What I have spoken of today is not weakness in the way the world defines it. It is not fragility, nor is it failure. It is the unseen weight that women carry, the quiet burdens they do not speak of, the struggles that remain hidden behind endurance and grace. These are not cries for pity or pleas for rescue. They are truths. Truths that men must recognize if they wish to truly understand the ones who stand beside them. She is exhausted, not because she is incapable, but because she carries more than anyone sees. The world takes from her endlessly, expecting her to give without pause, to endure without recognition, to support without question. She does so because she believes she must, because she has been taught that her strength is measured by her ability to withstand. But even the strongest foundation cracks when the weight upon it is never lifted. She will never ask for less, but she hopes that one day someone will see her struggle and choose to stand with her rather than simply leaning on her. She fears what she will never say aloud, the fear of being forgotten, of being replaced, of losing her place in the hearts she holds dear. No matter how much she is loved, there is a quiet voice inside her that whispers doubt. She has seen how easily people move on, how quickly promises fade, how effortlessly someone else can step into the space she once occupied. And so she loves fiercely, gives endlessly, and hopes that her presence is more than just a passing necessity. But deep down she wonders. She wonders if the day will come when she is no longer chosen. She sacrifices in silence, not because she does not feel, but because she has learned that speaking her needs does not always mean they will be met. She puts others first, not because she lacks desires of her own, but because she has been conditioned to believe that love is measured in how much she gives, not in what she receives. She does not ask for more because she has been made to feel that asking is selfish. And so, she continues, hoping that someone will see through her silence and understand the depth of what she has given. She stands in a room full of people and still feels unseen. She listens, she supports, she cares, yet she wonders, who truly knows her? Not the version of her that is always strong, always composed, always reliable, but the part of her that aches to be understood without having to explain herself. There is a loneliness in being the one who is always there for others, yet rarely finds the same depth in return. She does not need more people, she only wishes to be seen as deeply as she sees. She walks the tightrope between strength and softness, between control and surrender. The world tells her to lead, but not too much, to be strong but not intimidating, to be kind but not weak. She adjusts, she bends, she reshapes herself to fit the expectations placed upon her. But bending for too long, too often, makes her wonder if she is losing herself. She longs for a world where she does not have to choose between being accepted and being true to herself. So, what now? What is to be done with these truths? They are not given to place blame, nor to create division, but to open eyes, to invite awareness, understanding, and wisdom, to remind men that the women they cherish, the women they lean on, the women they admire are not unbreakable. They are not immune to exhaustion, to doubt, to loneliness, to struggle. They endure, but endurance should not be mistaken for infinite strength. To see her, to truly see her, is to acknowledge her burdens, to understand her fears, to recognize her sacrifices, to notice her loneliness, and to respect the balance she fights to maintain. It is not about rescuing her. It is about standing beside her, making space for her, ensuring that she does not have to carry the weight of the world alone. Because when she is seen, when she is understood, when she is given the same strength she so freely offers to others, she does not become weaker, she becomes unstoppable. Thank you. May you walk with wisdom, may you love with awareness, and may you never take for granted the silent battles fought by those who stand beside you. God bless you.